go ahead and hear that RDS turbo sing. Alright guys, enough with that. We're going to go ahead and paint the frame, and then we'll go ahead and surprise the wife with it, get her reaction, and then I'll show you guys my final thoughts. Stay tuned. By the way, if you guys want to pick up one of my cool screwdrivers, it also has a really strong magnet on it. Left that link in the description below. Also, if you pick one up, it's going to give you guys 10 entries to win the wheel and tire giveaway that we're doing on the channel. The Anthem 20x10s with brand new 33s on it. Man, I'm excited about this. Let's show you guys what we have here. Welcome back, guys. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. If you hear that annoying noise back there, we're trying to get this shop toasty so we can get this frame at room temperature, which we're about there. We used a really cool product called Raptor Line. We used the epoxy primer 4-to-1, and we used 2 cans of it. Laid it down on there. It looks super nice. It's a gray color. But what I really love about that product is it sealed the frame. I don't have to worry about anything. So now when I lay down my paint, it's going to adhere to it exactly how I want it to. So it's gonna look really good. So I'm shooting for sort of a high gloss red color on the frame. All right, so check it out. Of course, we had to pick up some reducer, so I went ahead and did that. This is called International Harvester Red. And from my understanding with the Napa products that we have here, this is some really high industrial strength paint. A lot of you painters watch my channel. I appreciate that. Let me know what you think. This is what I'm getting from other people, and this is what I'm using. I know my buddy Robert at S&S Automotive in Mugwanago, Wisconsin that painted the Victory Max used a UTEC paint, but unfortunately I don't have access to that kind of paint right now. But from my understanding, this is some pretty good commercial grade stuff. Matter of fact, I purchased one of those cheapo Harbor Freight paint guns for like 20 bucks, and this thing worked out really good, I gotta say. I'd say the biggest challenge that I'm having with painting this frame right now is my Harbor Freight 21 gallon, I believe, air tank, air compressor. It's a really good air compressor, but it's not going to be able to keep up with how much air I really need. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it takes a while for that thing to air up, and when it does, then I can start spraying again. So that's what's really taking me the longest, that air tank. Not a bad air tank, definitely not a bad air tank, but trying to keep up with painting a vehicle. Product number is PCR10, and this product is PCC 135IH. But for this and the reducer, the paint and the reducer, it ran me about 150 bucks. So you guys, I mean, you can't complain for that, sort of price range. So from my understanding, 4-to-1. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna fill it up actually here to the 5 line of paint. And then once you fill it up here, you're gonna wanna go ahead and add 1 part of reducer, which will bring you up to this 5 line right here. Go ahead and just stir it up really good. I'll go ahead and dump it right into my paint gun. All right, guys, it's game time. Let's go ahead and get this done. So what do you think?
Wow, very red. Shiny red, just like you wanted.
What color are we going after for the body?
Well, I still think you should go with the color we chose, but I know you're trying to change your mind now on that.
Yeah. You guys have guessed it a few times in the comments, but I think I'm going to do a different route now.
Oh, that's only because you painted the frame red and now you're not thinking it's going to go well with the color we chose. Right?
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I really want that original color.
Well, we could still go with that original color, but you know, I'm still kind of going back and forth. So we'll figure this one out, guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to say about a month from now, we're going to have this truck completely done, but realistically, I'd say in about 3 weeks, we should be able to turn the key for the first time. So this build is fast and furious. I think we've had this truck for about a month and a half so far.
Getting
So
done pretty quickly, I think.
very, very quickly. So yeah, I want to get this done. I don't want to draw out builds on the channel. That's not what I like doing. I did it with the black truck, now it's red, for probably about 3 years, but as you can tell, I'm consistently growing on the channel, and it's all because of you guys. If you're not watching these videos and supporting the channel, which we really do appreciate, I'm not going to continue going with this, so it's all because of you. I really do appreciate it, but you guys just got to tell me, what do you think? Is it overly done red?
I don't know. I've never seen it with a frame red and that color, so I don't know. Is it going to look like
you're killing the viewers right now when you say that color because they don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, are we going to reveal it?
No, no.
Okay. So is it going to look like a Lego car or a Lego truck?
No. Is it going to look like a truck that's been put together with crayons and?
Yeah.
Well,
but with the color that now you're wanting to switch it to.
You're just stopping in and you don't know this. This truck's going to have 2 turbos. It's a Cummins, okay? It's a 24 valve Cummins. We're P-pumping it. We're studding it. We're doing bottom end. We're also doing a dump bed for this thing. So the bed, and I'm not talking about a flatbed, guys. I'm talking about an actual dump bed. We're going to dump gravel with this thing. We're going to dump, you know, wood and stuff. Matter of fact, I purchased that truck for $1,800. It has a clean Southern bed on it. It's a clean body, and I'm literally going to take some of the parts off of that truck. It's a half ton, and we're going to build it on this frame right here. So it's kind of like a Chevy classic body style where you can take, you know, a half-ton parts and put it on a 2500 HD. It's pretty much the same process.
Well, really wanted that color that we chose.
We really may do that color. I just don't know for sure yet.
Maybe you should ask them what they think.
What color should we go with, y'all? You let us know in the comments. Leave it down there now. We will read it. I will like it. I will respond. I'll do something. I'll make sure I read your comment. Okay, I'll heart it or something, whatever. Heart it sounds a little...
I'll heart it. That's all I give you is a heart.
I give you a heart. Cool. All right. Well, we'll let you go ahead and get... Hang on, what are you doing?
I have to go to the school.
Oh, we'll let you play the mom game. I got to continue doing this. See ya.
Bye.
Before I tore the Cummins down to nothing, to the frame, let's be honest, that was kind of fun. The not so fun part, of course, is the wiring harnesses. What I need to purchase for the truck, you know, all the little dumb things. As a matter of fact, I just contacted my buddy Ryan at R22 Diesel Service, actually helping me outsource some of these parts so I can get them, you know, a little less expensive than I would at a parts store. So it's always good to have friends. Keep going back and forth whether or not I should go ahead and just, you know, clean up the connectors, which I already did, and, you know, clean up the wiring loom. But I decided, I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a ton of wire loom. And what that is, guys, is this plastic stuff that goes around the wiring. As you can see, some of this is already exposed. I can tuck that in. You know, I can clean it up, don't get me wrong. But while I'm already at it, it's already off the truck. I might as well go ahead and just start cleaning this up. So I'm gonna do all that off camera. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just reloom everything. It's gonna take me a long time, but it's gonna be worth it on the long run. Once I get my engine back from Miller Engines, the company in Pennsylvania, then we're gonna be able to put all this back together, but I don't wanna put a dirty wiring harness right over the engine. Matter of fact, I just got off the phone with Matt. He's the owner of Miller Engines, but he's reworking the block for me. Some of the upgrades that we're doing with the Cummins is gonna be a tow cam, a Hamilton tow cam, and on top of that, we're gonna go ahead and do all HD bearings. I honestly think that this build is probably not gonna reach in excess of 1,000 horsepower, so we're gonna keep stock rods and stock crank, but everything else is gonna be upgraded. So since you've watched this far into the video, which I do appreciate that, but let me spill the beans for you guys. I may be mistaken, but this 47RE transmission, which is by far the weak link on this entire build here, is not going to be once we're done with it. Now, I don't want to speak too soon. I talked to Mark at Kodiak Truck, and I'm willing to drive to Wisconsin to his shop to do a full teardown, a full how-to video on how to disassemble and assemble a 47RE. What I'm trying to say is we're going to rebuild this thing, but I don't want to cut any corners, y'all. I want to do a full billet Garand transmission build, was what I'm trying to say. It's going to be a pretty pricey build, but I think it'll be worth it, and I think it will be worth your time if you watch this. As far as I'm concerned, Kodiak Truck is probably the best in the industry when it comes to driveline repair, and not only that, remanufacturing the transfer cases and the transmissions. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great builders out there, and I've recognized them as well. A lot of you subscribers that's watched the channel for a few years now have seen some of his work. As a matter of fact, he did an Allison 1000 transmission build, And it's just the wow factor in my opinion. He really does a great job. I think you guys are going to kill me in the comments, especially some of you Dodge folks. But I think this is going to be one of the strongest 47 REs out there. I could be wrong, but just as a daily driver, as a Cummins on the road that could just drive normally, this is going to be really tough, man. I'm really excited. A lot of you guys were saying do the Allison build, but since I already have the 47 RE, and it was my brother-in-law's, we have some history with it, I think we should keep it. And if you guys could do me a favor and be easy with me in the comments, yes, okay, I painted my garage floor. But the good thing is I can actually rub this with my finger and it'll come off. So I just got to power wash my floor. But unfortunately, I did get some overspray in the garage. Some of the stuff did turn red. Look at my stove. Yeah, in my toolbox. Luckily, my toolbox is already red. Oh, the green one. It's just all powder, really, but that was really dumb on my part, man. I should have plasticed everything. That was really stupid. This is my first time ever really painting in my entire life a vehicle. Really should have known better, but I got a little happy. I shouldn't have done that. But luckily, my entire garage isn't red, except for that. I'll definitely clean this garage up. Thank you guys so much for your support. I need to get to work, man. We have a lot to do with this frame. I'm going to be cleaning up all the wiring. We're probably going to be putting new brake pads, new rotors on today, also new brake lines. I want to do braided stainless steel stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the Cummins build. Let me know if you do, and also give me some suggestions and ideas, stuff that I've missed overall in this build that I need to go ahead and address. So thank you so much for your time. We'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.